So how important was hay?
Real important, because I can tell you about the 30s, because I can remember my dad, we didn't have, the only hay he could get was for the horses, that was important.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember in 37, we went out, or 38, 37, 38 anyway, we went to get Russian thistles, and we mixed that with straw to feed the cows.
So how important was hay?
Well, very important. I know my dad always used to say you have to have 2 tons of hay for every cow that you had on hand. You had 2 tons per cow.
Wow. So how important was hay to the farm?
Well, it was very important because they needed the horses to operate, and then when you had cows, you still had to have hay to feed them.
Mm-hmm.
And without hay, you had nothing. To be like being without diesel fuel for tractors and all. And I think at one time they even got hay from Manitoba in the 30s.
Right, I've heard of that
Yeah.
because it wasn't growing.
And then it was no nutrition in it because it was by the lakes, and it was kind of like feeding straw anyway after they got it here. I think I remember my dad talking about even they made hay out of Russian thistles.
So how important was hay?
Well, you couldn't keep cattle without hay.
Yeah, they went out to Manitoba because there was no hay here, so they had to get hay for the cattle.
So
Some people back then moved the cattle out of the country, moved the cattle to Manitoba, went out there and looked after them.
because it couldn't feed them here.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is going to seem like a really simple question too, but so how important was hay in those days?
Very important. If you didn't have hay or grazing, you didn't have cattle or horses.
Mm-hmm.
Very important. It was your livelihood.